Hello, welcome to this Apphive tutorial. In this series of tutorials, we are creating an application for delivery step by step by using Apphive. Apphive is a no-code platform to create mobile apps without need to write a single line of code. So we are creating from scratch this application for delivery with many functions, with payments, with cart, with geolocation, maps, and well, and so on. And we are creating this different application for the customer, for the driver, and also for the admin and for the business. So we are creating these different applications connected between this application to send notifications, to save orders, and well, many functions in these tutorials. If you are new in these tutorials, I very recommend you to visit our YouTube channel. You can find us with Apphive App Builder. So you can start this tutorial from the beginning. Also on the comments, you will see this link to our list or playlist with all the videos from this series. And well, as a reminder, we're using Apphive. You can visit apphive.io and start creating the application as we show on these tutorials. Okay, so to start, we're going to recap what we did the last tutorial. Well, we already have our home screen. Well, we already have our user session. We allow the user to start using social networks and also email and password. And once they are on the application, we have our categories, we have our top products, our different products. All this information is from the database, so we can add new products and categories to the database. Also, well, we are going to work on the business application to create new categories and also add new products. For now, we just add this information manually to the database, and we're reading from the database this information. We have our top products, a cake and an ice cream. If I choose one of these products, I can see the detail for this product, the name, the image, the price, and the description. We can change the quantity, how much, how many products I want to add to my cart. If I press to add to cart, I have two options: continue shopping or go to checkout. If I press to checkout, I'm going to be redirected to the cart. In this cart, I already have the total for each product. For example, I have 5 cakes for $10 each one, so it's 50. And I have my total for 50. If I go back and add, for example, two ice creams, and add these 2 ice creams to a cart and go to checkout, 2 ice creams for 20 each one is 40, and 40 plus 50 is 90. So I have the total, and well, now we are ready with our cart. It's basic. We're adding more functionalities as we need as part of the tutorial, but for now it's enough. I have my products list. I can add to my cart, and now we're going to continue with the checkout process. Well, the next step is to allow the customer to add an address. Okay, so we have different methods to work with address. We have autocomplete, so they can write the address manually, and we can suggest some locations and autocomplete. And also we can use the geolocation and get the GPS location from the user. And also they can change the location manually using a map. We're going to work with this is Google Maps, autocomplete for addresses, and read this information. At the end, we will have the latitude and the longitude for the location for the customer and save this information into the database. We're going to use this information then to calculate the distance we have between our business and the customer. And with this distance, we can estimate like a delivery price, no, depending the distance, the time. So let's start working with locations. Okay, so we have here our project Eatbeer. For now, we have only a single application, but we are creating the other application in the following tutorials. So we have our homepage. We can change the order of the screens. Just I need to drag and drop the screens, and I can change the order. No, well, the best is the order similar of the user navigation. So I'm going to set this page here. Well, is the login screen, the email and password login, forget password, home screen with the products, then the product detail. Well, this is for sign up. Maybe this should be here. So the home screen for login, sign up, sign in, forget password, home screen, product detail, and cart. Okay, so the next step is the checkout. So we are going to add the checkout page. We can search for the pages here for the page templates. So we're going to check out. We have different designs for checkout. I'm going to add this one. Well, they are very similar, but let's try with this checkout. Okay, so we have the checkout here. We're going to change the text to order. This is going to be address. Here we are going to write, well, to have the address. Here, comments, restaurant, name, the quantity, no? For example, one product, the payment method. We're going to work with a different payment method, the summary, subtotal, delivery, service fee, tip, total, tip, and checkout. Okay, so we have now our checkout page. I just changed some of the text. And so we are going to work in each element on this screen because we need to know the restaurant name, the quantity of products. Well, we already know how many products we have, but well, we need to calculate and send to this page, no? To know how many products we have. The payment methods, we are going to have a payment gateway later. And so the delivery, service fee, tips, okay. We're going to work on all of these things. For now, we are going to start working specifically on the address. So when they press the buy button, well, we are going to change to checkout. So when they press this checkout button, we're going to push another screen, and we're going to push the checkout page. We have many variables here in this template, but we're change these variables, so I'm going to delete all of these variables. We're going to add them as we need it. So if they press the checkout, we're going to redirect to the checkout page. In this page, for now, we are not going to change anything, just add an event on the address. So when they press the address, we're going to send the user to another page. Well, we have different ways to know the user location. Okay, we can get the user location by asking for the address. Let's see, address. Let's search for address. I have here an autocomplete page. I have different pages for autocomplete. So I like this. We're going to use this for autocomplete. Basically, it has just a field for autocomplete or the current location or enter the location manually. And then I'm going to add also this other page for the location. Let's search for map. There are many options here, but let's search for a good option here. Yeah, this looks fine. Yeah, I like it. So I'm going to add this page for now. No? This page, but as you can see, we have this message here. To use this control, you need to set a Google key. So what is this Google key? Yeah, we need a credential we get from the Google Cloud. So this is necessary to use all the functions related to Google Maps, as the location autocomplete, the Google Maps, get distance. It's not necessary for the GPS function. So because the GPS is just using the GPS in the phone, so it's not necessary for this. But if we want to have autocomplete, or we're going to use Google Maps on our application, we will need this key. So to add this key, we are going to press in the application name. If we're inside here, we can press on the application name, and we're going to add this key here on the Google API key. In this field, we're going to add our API key for Google. How we can get this API key? Okay, the first is to go to Google Cloud Console. You can see this. What is this address? console.cloud.google.com. So you can go to Google Cloud, and once you are in Google Cloud, you need to create first a new project. So create a new project, and it's important to add your billing information. So you will need a credit card, and add this credit card to your project because it's necessary. You are going. They aren't going to charge you when you will do it, because you have a free layer here on Google Maps, so you can start testing and start creating your application, and even launch your application, and you don't need to pay anything at the beginning. But depending on the use, you will pay, no, for this service. But you can know what are the prices. Just go to Google Maps pricing and search in Google, and you will see here the different pricing. You have $200 for free every month, and you have different prices. Well, depends of the use. To have the Google Maps inside the application is also free. Well, on the cloud. Uh, but if you are going to use different services for maps, for example, for places, for autocomplete, for geocoding, we're going to use geocoding. So it will depends of the number of requests you have on your application. So depending how many users you have, you need to pay more. But also, normally you will have more. When you have more users, you can pay for it. Okay. So first you create your project. Then you will need to go to APIs and services on the left menu. To enable APIs, go to library, and here you will see many APIs you need to enable. What you will need to enable most of them, depending of where you use in your application. But for ours, first is enable the Maps SDK for Android. This is only for show the maps on the application. Okay, you will see on APIs the enable APIs. Then we have the directions API. These directions help us to get the estimated time between 2 points, and it considers many factors. The distance matrix, also the geocoding API, also the JavaScript API. You will need also the Places API. The Places API is the first we're going to use because it's for the autocomplete. So it's to have suggestions about the addresses. So we have now the directions, metrics, JavaScript. If you plan to publish your application for iOS, you will need to enable also the SDK for iOS. And that's all for now. So we need to have these APIs enabled, and then we're going to add a credential. So go to credentials, create credentials, API key, and create a new API key. You will need to copy this API key, close, and go to your application, paste this API key, click on add, and that's all. Okay, so now we have our you will see here on your application, you have your address autocomplete, and now we don't have this message we show at the beginning now, because now the API is active, so we can use this page. So we have this field. This field is basically a normal field. So if you want to create your own page to search for address, you can drag and drop a normal field. The difference is that we enable here on Places Autocomplete. We already enable the Places Autocomplete. And you have different options. For example, for establishment, if you want to search for establishment or just geocoding for addresses or cities, regions, no? Well, it depends where you're looking for. And also search the country because, well, it depends the country you are uh, using. So, for example, you can search for United States, here, no? And click, and you have United States here, and we have Mexico. Just press to delete. So add the countries you are going to use. For now, I am going to add Mexico. So if I just need to search for Mexico and press, so I will see this Mexico here. Okay. And you can enable multi-line to have multi-line. If the address are long, so we are going to have multi-line, and also we can send latitude and longitude to get results near to a specific location. For example, if your application is running on a small city, you can have the latitude and the longitude for the center of the city, the downtown, so you're getting results near to this location. Okay. So it's a normal field, but the only difference is that we have these places autocomplete. Then we have this option to get the current location. So, and also we have the option to get the address manually. But let's test first this address autocomplete, and then we are going to use these other options. Okay. In this page, we're going to add the event when I press the address and push the screen and send the user to this add location page. I can add a simple animation here. So if I press on this container, I'm going to be to go to this page. If I close this page, I have here a container. Also add the event on press and return to last screen, no? To go back. Add an animation also here. So no, we can try this in our application. So press checkout. We are on the checkout page. So press the address, and now we are on this page. If I press on the autocomplete, the keyboard is open, and I can start searching for addresses here. So you can see when I write some addresses, it automatically autocomplete what I with the address for what I'm writing in it. It's important just if you're creating your own page for address autocomplete, what is important is that the container, the parent container, you have inside a field, but your parent container must have an auto because, well, it increases the size depending of the results of the search for autocomplete. So it needs to increase. You can add also the autocomplete in the same page you have your map, but usually it's not a good idea because as you see on, well, my screen is not small, but you can see like half of the screen is used to the keyboard and the other half for the suggestions. So if you have a map, like it's a little difficult to use the application. So I very recommend to have a single page with this autocomplete, and also, well, so you can search for an address and press the address I'm going to choose. Okay, we have an event when I on change. Okay, we have different events also on the field, but the on change is called when something changed on the input field. If it's a normal input, so each time that I write character, this callback will be called. But as we change to places autocomplete, this unchange will be called when we press a direction. Okay, so what we get when we press and get a direction. Well, let's see what we get. I can send an alert with the information I get from the event output. The event output send me the information from the event. In this case, as we have an autocomplete, the event output will give me all the information about this address. Also, to see all this information, we can use another option, which is the debug. So we can debug the functions we are adding to your application. The way to debug is just click on the function title, and we are going to have this window. So we have different states of this function. We have the default, the debugging, and disable. If we disable this function, this was disabled, so it's not running when we open the application. And the debugging will register all the information, the variables that enter into the function and the outputs. Okay, so we're going to enable the debugging, and let's select an address here. Okay, you see I have this alert with all the information for the address, but here in the debug, we can see better this information. I have all this information I have on this alert. If I press here, I can see the information better. Well, I have, it's in the subtitle because it's the name of the entry bar of my alert, but we have this object as a result for the address autocomplete. I have the formatted address, which is the full address I have, the streets, the locality, also the country here. We have the location with latitude and longitude. We have the coloring. Well, this is not for all the location. We have the description and the details. On the details, we have address components. The address components are different elements we have on our address. For example, we have the street number, which is the name, the street number, basically. The road, we have long name and short name for each of these fields. The long name, the sublocality level 1, the locality, political, administrative area. We have the country, the short name for the country, the zip code. Okay, and we have many information here. Okay, from the address we are reading. So, but for now, what we are going to use is two things. First, the formatted address, because it's the full address. And second, the location. In the location, we have the latitude and the longitude for the address they choose. So these two fields, we're going to need these fields on the next page to show this address on the map. Okay, so to display this information on the map, we have this page. I'm going to delete all these variables on the page. We're going to add as we need it. So have change the location on the map, and we have here the address. select this. Okay. So we have our map. We can add or custom latitude and longitude here on the map. If we select the map, we have these properties for latitude and longitude. So we can well use these coordinates for latitude and longitude. And well, we have many events here, but for now, on the page input data, because remember that we can use this page input data to send information from one page to another. So in this page, we're going to receive the location and the address. Okay, so when they select, I'm going to delete the alert, it's just for testing. But when they select an address, I'm going to push the screen and open this map. I'm going to rename this as map and send the location from the event outputs. Send the location. The location has the latitude and longitude. And the address, which is the full address we have here as formatted address. You need to write in this way for formatted address, okay? Capital letter on address, okay? And add and transition here and send this information to this other page. When this page loads, we are going to use a modify control to center the map on the location the user select on the address autocomplete. So we're going to use from the page data the location. We're reading the latitude and the longitude, and we are going to modify this map. To search for the map. We already have this here. And we're going to change the property called region. Region includes latitude and longitude. We can change the region separate. First set the latitude and then the longitude, but we can set both together. Okay. We have options here on the map to change if we want to display a marker on the center of the map, and we can change also the image we're going to use as marker. Okay, you can upload your own marker or add any image you want. For example, I know, well, any image you want to use as the center of the market. But for now, I'm not going to change this image. And also, after this modify, here we have the address. I'm going to rename this field as address. So I'm going to use another modify control with the information I read from the address and change the map. And no, change the address, sorry. Change the address and change the text. So the first modify control is to center the map. The second modify control is to change the address we have here. Also, we can add the function here on the close button to return to the last screen. So if we want to return to the last screen. Okay, so we can test our application. We are here. We have an address. When we select this address, we're redirected to this other page. In this page, we have the address here at the top, and also we have our map. And we can change the location manually. So if we move the map, we can see how the marker also moves. So we can change the location. But to change the location using the map, uh, we need to read the latitude and the longitude we have on the map and convert this latitude and longitude into a readable address. So to make that, we are going to use a geolocation. No, geocoding, sorry, geocoding. So we're going to use geocoding. Okay, for if we select the map, we have different events for on market preset, on region change, or on region change complete. On market press is called when I press marker. On region change is called every time that I'm moving, like when I change the center of the map, this event is called. And on region change complete is when I stop moving, changing the map. This is called. So I'm going to add the event here on region change complete. And on region change complete, I'm going to use the Geocoding. Okay. And I'm going to send from the event output on region change complete, I have the latitude and the longitude. So on event outputs, I'm going to read the latitude and the longitude from the event outputs. Okay, after change the latitude, well, after send the latitude and the longitude, we are get on success the same we read on the address autocomplete. So it's the same. You're going to have the formatted address, the location latitude, location longitude. So we can first save in the page value and save the location from the geocoding. And second, we are going to use a modify control from the Geocoding formatted address. So we get the information from Geocoding and change the address text and change the text here. Okay, so we are saving the new latitude and longitude because each time that we change it, we will see the new address here. And well, and modify this. So let's try this on the application. You can see if I move the map, you see how the address changed. So I can move the map, and when I release, I have the address here on the text. And also I have this information as where we have a variable with this information. Okay. So when we select this address, we can save this information as part of the order or also in the customer information. So For now, we're going to save this information in the in the database we have with all the user address, and also we're going to save this information in the user we are using, no, like the default address we are going to use. So when I press the select address and press this button, I'm going to save into the database, include database, because we can use these addresses for many things in the application. It's important to know the address the user had. And also, if I log in another phone, I will need my addresses, no, the address I use for delivery. So I'm going to create a new collection called addresses. And here we are going to save the address from the so we have the address from this user, from the current user, and I'm creating a collection inside a collection because each user can have multiple addresses, okay? And inside these addresses, I have the address, I have the latitude, I'm going to use lower cases for all the variables. Latitude and longitude. Okay, so I'm going to read from the page data, the location, the latitude, and also from the page data, the location, the longitude. And also I'm going to read the address here. Okay, we need to change the address when we set the, yeah, that's okay. But also when we change this, we are saving the location, but I'm going to copy and paste because we also need to save the new address from the geocoding. Okay, we're saving the address on the on the page value. Okay, so when I press select address, we're going to press save address. We're going to save into the database this address. And also we can save in the user. Why to save this on the user? Because we can save multiple locations for the user. So a single user can have multiple addresses, but we are going to save the current address because we are going to use this address for delivery for delivery one in this moment. So after the data is saved, we're going to save in the user. So we can use set user custom data. Set user custom data allow us to save information into the user. Is similar to the database, but instead of save this into the database, it's saved directly on the user as a user property because we have different user properties like the name, the email, but also we can create our own user properties. For example, here the address, and we can save the information we have in the address. And after this, I'm going to save another set user custom data and set the latitude or set the location. Could be, yeah, I'll take the latitude. And from the page, from location, set the latitude. And also, we're going to set the longitude. Okay. So we're saving first into the database, then in the user the address, then the address latitude, then the address longitude, and finally we're going to go back to the to the checkout page. So because we start on the checkouts, then we were on the location, and well, to go from the location to the map, the best is to, well, we're not going to use push screen. It's best The best is to use run place top page. Yeah, it's better because if we replace the top page, let's send the latitude. And the location, sorry, is the location. And the formatted address. Wait, you see, it's very similar, but the difference is that we are changing instead of push the screen, we are using run place top screen. Why? Because if we only push the screen, when we return from this screen, after save the address to the last screen, we're going to return to this screen. But we don't want this because if they already add the address, so we want to go to this checkout page. Yeah, we can add the return to last screen twice, but it's not that good practice. So the best is only call this one to return to last screen. So when I'm going to let this, so when I add a new address, I'm going to replace the top screen. So instead of this page, I'm going to add this page. If I return to last screen from this page, I'm going to go to this home screen. Okay. Well, no, not home screen, the checkout. Okay. So let's see all this flow working. So I'm going to close these two pages. So I press on address. I start writing an address. Select an address. Now I am on the map with the address. I can change the address a little bit. For example, if my house is here or here, I just drag and drop and save the address. And after save, I am on this page. So I have a current address. And if we check our database in the address, we have our user ID here, and we have inside the address, the latitude and the longitude of the address I select from the map. Okay, so that's great. Well, on this page, on load, we're going to rename this as address. This text. And on this page, on load, we can use the modify control, and from the user, we can read the property address. It's the property we set when we select the address. and modify the address and change the text. So when we open this checkout, we're going to see the address we have currently here. Okay, to finish today, we're going to add two more things here. First, the current location. The current location allows us to read the location of the user by using the GPS. So we're going to add the onPress event. Then we're from geolocation, we're going to use get geolocation. And we have different modes for high accuracy, balanced power, or low power. The low power and balanced power don't use the GPS. They only use the Wi-Fi network. They are good if you are just, or if you want just to know like what is the locality or the country. They work fine. But if you want to get the exact location of the user, it recommends high accuracy. You can add your custom request message. If you don't have a message, it's okay. But like, why you need the location? No? And once you get the location successfully, so we can use also geocoding and send from the get location, we get the latitude and longitude. So from the get location, we're going to read the latitude and the longitude, okay, from geocoding. And after we use the geocoding, is the same we have on this page. So I'm going to copy and use the same push screen, well, replace top screen. But I am going to send the location from the geocoding and the formatted address also from the geocoding. So it's very similar, but in this case, we are using the address autocomplete. So we are suggesting some addresses from what the user writes, and we redirect to the map using this information. In this case, we read the location of the user using the GPS, and then we use the latitude and the longitude to get the address and send this information to the other page. Finally, you have to add the address manually. In this case, we can use the onPress and also replace the top screen and send them to the map. But as they didn't give us the address or the location, so we don't have a location, so we can just send the user to the other page and they can send the location manually. Okay, so we can try this to end today's tutorial. So I'm going to press on address. We already test to write the location, but I can press the current location. It will ask me for the location. Well, you don't see it, but let me show you. Here I have my. Well, it's not clear. Yeah, you can see it. Right? It's asked me for the location. I allow for use my location. Now it has my location, and I click on save address, and now I have the address here. Also, if I write the address here, now my address is here. I save the address, and you can see the address here. So we have different ways to ask for the user location. We can use the GPS. We can use also the address autocomplete, and also you can allow the user to select manually the address. So now we have the address for our user, and we can use this information to know what the distance we have from the user. We're going to show this tomorrow on the next live. We're going to show you how you can get the distance from your location to the customer location. And also we're going to continue with this to calculate the distance and calculate the delivery price. Okay, we're going to see this tomorrow, and if we have time, well, to continue with the product or the number of products and start the integration for payments in our application. So thank you for watching us. If you can see this live, so you can watch the full playlist here on the description, and always invite to join us on community.apphive.io. You can ask us any questions you have about your application. And also we have this chat here on the website, and you can ask to talk with support, and you can ask any questions you have for your application. Thank you to watch us on this live, and see you tomorrow. Bye bye.